Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I am Carmel Angelo, Mendocino County CEO, and today we will be doing a follow-up video to the first video on PSPS, the Public Safety Power Shutoff. This is a project of PG&E, and their goal is to reduce or mitigate the possibility of wildfire based on the conditions, red flag warnings, very dry weather, and excessive heat. PG&E may be shutting off power lines. So we have had a few months to prepare for PSPS, and the executive office formed a team that is a response team to PSPS. We meet every Monday morning at 10 a.m. and we look at the progress for our internal operations and our external operations in serving the public. So what I would like to do today is share with you some of the information and insights that have been put together by our team so that you're aware of, one, what we're doing, how we come together, who's working on what, and giving you some ideas that will help you during this period. You'll have to be prepared at home and also prepared at work. So, to start with, Information Technology Services has given me some tips that they would like me to share with you. I am going to read these so that I give you the exact information from our county information technology. And so this is from our IT staff. What they say is that these tips will ensure the stability of emergency power provided by generators. And if you're not aware, the county is working on a plan to have generators to provide power to certain buildings. And we are looking at what those buildings are that don't have generators. The buildings that do have generators, we're one step ahead, but looking at our mission critical services and how you're able to continue to provide those services. So these tips are based on your department having generators. If you have emergency power that is provided by generators, 1, select power and shutdown to turn off your computer. 2, turn off the UPS, that's the black box that is beeping, under or on your desk by pressing the power button located on the UPS. You may have to hold it for a couple of seconds for it to go off. If you're working in a building that has generator power and the generator is on, do not use microwave ovens, toasters, crock pots, or coffee pots. These devices use a lot of power and can tax the generator that is needed for critical infrastructure. And finally, when working in a building with generators running, keep printing and copying at a minimum, as these devices use large amounts of power. You should keep these devices powered off if they're not absolutely needed. So the message here really is, should we have a PG&E power shutoff and we go to emergency generators, the goal is to conserve as much energy as we can to get through our daily operations. And so these are some tips from information technology. I would like to thank the IT staff for all their work and their support in preparation for the county being ready for PSPS. Now, regarding our weekly meetings that we've been having, we have representatives from many offices: the sheriff's office, the auditor's office, the Office of Emergency Services, Health and Human Services, just to name a few. And if you are a department that has not been involved in preparation for PSPS and you would like to be, please call my office, and you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Mondays for our PSPS preparation meetings. I would also like to tell you that we have been working with our state partners and our local partners to look at county departments being able to ensure a more coordinated response. And we have been talking with the cities as well. And so our hope is that collectively we all, as different government entities, could work together to keep as many government services open for the public. Again, as I said, our goal is to remain open as best we can. We are looking at mission critical services, but the more services that can remain open, the better, particularly in times like this when people from the public get anxious if they think that there's a service there that they would like or need and it's not available. We have also been working with the departments on continuity of business services. These are plans so that you know in your department what will continue, what won't continue, what's mission critical, what you have to do, what you don't have to do. And examples of that are certainly our 24-hour facilities, our juvenile hall and the jail, and then also our 24-hour services like child welfare and adult protective services. That those departments that provide services such as 24-hour services have continuity of operations plans. So along with that, I've mentioned that we have formed a team. This team is really looking at the PSPS in light of disaster preparedness and response. We know this isn't a disaster. We don't want this to turn into a disaster, but that's how we're approaching it so we can be as best prepared as possible. We're looking at all of our county facilities. And again, as I mentioned earlier, how those facilities will stay open if they have generators, if they don't have generators. If you're in one of the county buildings and you know of some particular issue with the power in that building, please contact Steve Dunicliffe, Deputy CEO, in my office, as he is working with facilities and maintenance around the generators. We have prioritized certain areas in the county, the Emergency Operations Center, the Sheriff's Office, and the Administration Center. We have prioritized those as hubs within the county services and areas that should have as much generator power as possible. If you were listening to the board meeting yesterday, you know that the Executive Office brought an item to the board yesterday to ask for additional dollars to rent generators during this period of time. And our goal is to have as much of the admin center available. And if there are departments out there with staff that need to do some activities that they can't do in their department, we will have some place here within the admin center for them to work. And of course, that is based on having generator power ourselves. But we're hopeful that we will be prepared for this event. Actually, what we're hoping is that the event doesn't happen, but if it does, that we are prepared. The county garage generator is in place so that county vehicles can be fueled, but we are asking departments to maintain their fleets outside of the county facility. So mainly if you're someone who drives a county vehicle every day or a few times a week, it's imperative that you yourself make sure that there's gas in that vehicle. At the end of the day, don't bring it back on E. Fill the tank before you bring the car back. It will be important that we're as ready as possible. We know that the county's technology infrastructure is critical to all county services. So county's technology infrastructure, the executive office, information services, and our communications team, we've all been planning on public safety communications around the microwave system in the event of a long-term county power shortage. And this is something that I didn't say initially in this video, though we talked about it in the last video. What's going to be important here is that we recognize that PG&E is saying that the power shutoffs could be anywhere from 2 to 5 days. So we're not talking 2 hours, 4 hours, or 8 hours. We're talking possibly 4 days for a power shutoff. Now, if you're wondering how we're going to handle that, Human Resources has been working on a policy that will be rolled out to the department heads and then to all staff. So everyone will know if there's a power shutoff and your department must close for 1 to 2 days, how will that impact you? So we are dealing with this and information will be forthcoming. We also are looking at an inventory of all landline phone numbers within the county system. And we're hoping that telephone service at some level can be maintained in the event. Now, regarding external operations, how we serve the public, let me just tell you a few of the things we're doing. We have been preparing press release templates so that we could issue press releases in the event of a PSPS. We want to be certain our staff know what to do, and we want to be certain that the public knows what to do. We've been developing a website and social media information that includes information from PG&E on PSPS. The Sheriff's Office has been preparing what we call NIXL notifications for countywide distribution, and we've also been preparing those notifications in Spanish as well as in English. The sheriff himself has prepared a public service announcement that has gone out to local media stations and will continue so we can give as much information to the public as possible. We are a little concerned about our libraries because we know that people will gravitate to libraries during periods of excessive heat and also periods of some event, some urgency or emergency. Our libraries currently do not have generator power. We were hoping to have the finances to provide at least one generator to the Ukiah Library. At this point, we do not have the dollars to do that. However, we do know that the libraries will be open to provide public access for shade, water, and restrooms as long as they can. We're currently looking at options for the libraries, but right now we do not have generators in our libraries, and so they are going to be treated as every other county service. If the library gets hot, if there's no water, if there are no restrooms, the libraries will have to close like any other county facility. The Department of Transportation is preparing batteries for traffic signals within the county jurisdiction. Environmental Health has prepared a list of gas stations, food, and markets as well that will be open or that have the capability of serving the public during a power shutoff. And we will have that list on the county's website. The county staff in Health and Human Services have also reached out to their 1,500 in-home support services clients to make sure that they have information and they're informed about PSPS and they know what numbers to call if they need something. We've also reached out to local jurisdictions such as the fire districts, other special districts, and the schools. We're looking at an assessment of the county water districts as well to see what happens in a PSPS and what customers within the unincorporated area have water and those that don't. This could be a real issue if it's certainly more than 24 hours. What we know is with all the preparation that we've done that's been ongoing and that we continue to do, the county will be as prepared as possible. We will be as prepared as possible to serve you, our employees, and to serve the public. That's what I have to say today. I realize I've given you a lot of information. You may have questions. If you have questions, please feel free to call the executive office. You could ask for me, or you could ask for Deputy CEO Steve Dunnicliffe, Deputy CEO Janelle Rawl, or you can ask for Deputies Darcy Antle or Sarah Duquette. We're all here, and we're here to work with you and to serve our employees as well as serving the public. I wish you a good day. This is the second message on the public safety power shutoff, and there will be more as we have additional information. Thank you. Thank you for your service to the county and to the 90,000 people in our county. Thank you very much. Have a good day.